Hey, what's up, guys? So, yeah, it has been a while. I haven't uploaded in quite a while, and I'll kind of get to that later on during the video. I've been getting quite a few people asking me online where I am and what I've been up to. And if you do follow me on Strava, be sure to follow me there. You can kind of see the runs and the mountain bike rides that I've uploaded recently. And you will notice that my runs have been nearly non-existent. I'm going to take you through the story in this video just kind of as an update and just kind of what I'm kind of going through injury-wise, and I will let you guys know how it goes. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. It really helps the channel out, and I can kind of see who's subscribed and what you guys are looking for. Also, I like reading all the comments and stuff down below. If you want to see anything or you want me to review anything or go over any sort of training stuff, then be sure to do that. So this is just going to be a super chilled kind of sit down. I'm going to go over like kind of my injury and what's kind of happened. And the best way of kind of doing that for you guys is going back to the beginning of lockdown here in Cape Town, South Africa. So I kind of started out lockdown. Obviously, if you've watched my previous videos, I entered the 100-kilometer ultra trail Cape Town. The beginning of lockdown, I was pretty stoked. I was kind of on a little bit of a diet. I was losing a bit of weight, and I was kind of ramping up my training again to kind of get going, because obviously we couldn't exercise and go out for a certain period of time, and then they kind of eased lockdown a couple of months back. So I could kind of get into it, and I was more than happy because I had more than enough time to train. At the beginning of lockdown, you see over here, I've got these shoes. These are the new Nimbus, ASIC Gels Nimbus. These are the 23s. Now, I've been in ASICs because just of the stability and the softness of the shoe. I've got flat feet, so I don't need a super stable like stability shoe. This is a neutral shoe, but I've been in these probably since the beginning of lockdown, and that's only what, a couple of months. I was in the 19 before, I've been in the 20, I've been in the 21, now I've got the 22, and for some reason I've been rolling my ankle, and I think that's kind of where it started. I went for a run with a mate, and this is after I did like a really awesome 42-kilometer, and I did some really nice early morning runs here, and I'll put up some footage for you guys. But I went for a run with a mate, and I kind of minimally twisted my ankle like 3 or 4 times while transitioning on and off pavement and stuff like that. Now, bear in mind, these are the same size shoe as my other shoes that I use, and the changes that I've done, because obviously I need to do research on the shoe and kind of see if anyone else has had this problem, and no one else has had this problem. It actually says that if you have weaker ankles or a tendency to get injured or anything like that, that these shoes are pretty much perfect, and they are a big upgrade from the 19s, 20 and 21s. So reading that obviously didn't help me at all. I was getting slight pain in my ankle and underneath my foot a couple of weeks ago, but I kind of decided to just rest it a little bit and chill. I have been riding my bike, so I thought maybe getting on the bike with maybe inadequate shoes and stuff on and off to the shops and up the mountains and stuff maybe was irritating me. And I've also upgraded to the latest version of the trail shoes, so I couldn't really pinpoint at that time where the problem was lying. I've been working a lot in Noordhoek. I'm doing a horse riding arena and stuff like that, and I obviously walk around a hell of a lot during work, so it has been agitating my foot. Now, to me, just doing some research in the past and having had issues with my left foot, now this is the right foot I'm talking about now, is that plantar fasciitis, some sort of tendonitis, something sort of, although it's not at the insertion point by my heel, something sort of underneath my foot just wasn't right. So I have gone to a physio. I went to a physio just because the pain was almost unbearable at some points and it seemed to ramp up. So I went to a physio on, when was it, Thursday I think it was, and she did some stuff, and she basically said that it's some sort of tendon, some sort of plantar fasciitis sort of thing. She hasn't ruled anything out. It could also be the ankle that was involved from twisting it and stuff, but we're going to work through it. I've got kind of exercises to kind of tackle all the points depending on what it is, and I'm just working through it with her. And from what she did when I saw her last, I had literally no pain the entire weekend. I went on 2 25-kilometer mountain bike rides, which were climbing hills, all sorts of techie terrain and stuff like that, which were pretty testing, which was awesome, and I could not feel a thing in my foot. It felt 100%. This morning I go out with a mate of mine. I meet him at 7 o'clock. I think, okay, I'm going to just ease back into it and do kind of like a 5K. So I get to 3K and I can kind of feel my foot. Now, she did say that I could carry on running, but any sort of pain, 2 out of 10 sort of vibe, I must just stop and take it easy and perhaps just give it up for the day. So I got to about a 2 out of 10 at 3 kilometers, which is obviously really irritating because I should be running 30-kilometer runs, not 3-kilometer runs. Yeah, and it's totally annoying me. I can't kind of figure out exactly what it is, but I am working with her. I'm going to go and see her again tomorrow, actually. So I'll kind of do an update and let you guys know if you're keen on that. But yeah, long story short, I've put these shoes, even though it probably isn't these shoes, but it might have been sort of a twist of ankle that kind of led to this. I've put those shoes on hold for a bit. I'm not using those. I'm actually gone back to my older version of shoes. I'm using my trail shoes and stuff like that more. And yeah, so that's basically it. I would lie if I say I'm not worried for the 100-kilometer, because when I was looking at it 9 months ago and I entered it, I was in really good shape. I'd be running a hell of a lot. I'd be able to do a 50 or 60k training run in the mountains on the weekends, and now I'm reduced to doing like a 2-3k and having to stop and walk. So that's how injuries go, unfortunately, and I'm not pulling out yet, but it has kind of come up with conversation with mates and stuff like that. I know there are other races at the beginning of the year that have 100-mile, 100-kilometer, 65-kilometer, all of that stuff. I'm very amped on doing the 100-kilometer. That is kind of a goal, and I'm the type of person as well that I'm stubborn when it comes to races, just because my kind of view on it is I enter a race and that kind of gives me the push to know that I need to get my diet sorted, I need to get my training 100%, and I need to just absolutely smash that race to the best of my ability. And that's why I kind of enjoy it. It kind of pushes me and it motivates me, and it all goes back to that video I made a while ago about setting goals. And I like to accomplish my goals. So although it's a learning curve for everyone, including myself, you have to see that injuries are going to happen and stuff's going to happen, and all over the board, it's going to happen at a time that necessarily isn't convenient for your training or your racing and stuff. So I'm stoked it hasn't happened too much closer, but it is still, with lockdown and the way 2020 has gone, first world problems, it is definitely, but it's a slight annoyance when it comes to my training, because if I work back, which I usually do, and I've got a training plan on this channel if you guys want to watch it, but if I work back from race day, I take about a 2-week taper, and then say 2 weeks before that I have my maximum sort of spike, my longest run, or I do like a 50k or something like that. So if I'm working back and it's the 1st of August, I've gone back on a pretty strict diet, so I'll be able to cut. Last year when I did the 65k, I weighed just under 75 kgs. I now weigh 78.5, so that's kind of my comfortable weight. When I'm at 75, sub 75, I can definitely feel a difference, but race wise it's really cool because I'm a little bit lighter, and running wise I feel more comfortable. So I'm going to cut down just before the end of November, which is, there's more than enough time. I'm going to cut down a few kgs, just get below 75, which I can also make videos of how I'm going about that. If you want to see that, just comment below. But yeah, I don't want to ramble too much, but long story short, everything else is kind of laid out and working. But if my foot doesn't come right during the next month, I'm not going to have enough time to rebuild up all the way up. Even though there's muscle memory and I'm kind of used to running those longer runs, I can't just go out from like a rest recovery sort of period of doing slight rehab movements and stuff for my foot, trying to get it right, and all of a sudden do like 40-50k runs on the weekends. That is never ever going to work. So I'm going to unfortunately be realistic about it, and I will let you guys know as soon as I do. If I do pull out of the 100, I'm not going to drop down to the 65 or do anything else, because I feel it was a lovely race and I'll definitely be there to support if I don't do it, even if I don't do the 100. but I have done the 65 before, and I feel that I really just want to tackle the 100. My goal for this channel is just to kind of show you guys just my journey of running and training and mountain biking and everything, and just kind of pushing my own personal limits. So I'm not going out to win anything, I'm not going out to beat anyone else, just me personally. I want to see how far I can push myself, and with a couple of years of running behind me, doing the 65 was awesome. If you haven't seen that video, it's got such atmosphere in it. It's a really, really rad race. But I feel I'm ready and I want to do the 100. And if I don't do it at the end of this year, beginning of next year, there's another race coming out. And that environment, that setting, everything about that is going to be a lot more awesome. But let's not jump the gun and let's see how it goes. So all in all, I can do a review of those shoes. They're really good shoes. I'm not knocking them at all. It's just obviously when you do have an injury or something, you've got to go through all the variables, and shoes, having changed shoes or upgraded shoes, you've obviously got to take that into account. So any small changes that they've made and all that stuff, they've made changes with the gel in the back, but quite frankly, all the reviews have literally said if you have like weak ankles, or you have a tendency to twist your ankles, or you need a plush, more stable kind of neutral shoe, then these shoes are brilliant. So that kind of led me to a dead end. As I say again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all subscribe down below, and that's just basically what's been happening. I will put up more footage of the awesome runs I've done, and basically just on closing, I'll give you my thoughts of what I'm going to do training wise. So generally, when you have an injury, there are other things you can do. Now, I do like lifting weights. I like gym, even though I don't want to do it too much, because the more muscle mass you put on, especially upper body, that's going to add more weight. And when you're running, obviously it's your power to weight ratio, like road cycling and all that sort of stuff. You don't want to be heavy, and those muscles above are not necessarily going to help you that much in, I'm talking about biceps, triceps, back stuff. Obviously there's stability and stuff, so don't take this out of context, but that muscle mass is not going to help you go faster during a race, especially a running endurance race. So you can do other things when you are injured, which is really cool. I've got to the side of me here, as you guys have probably seen before, I've got my indoor trainer, so I'm going to get back on the indoor trainer. And over the weekend from the 1st, I decided the 1st of the month, August, was like a brilliant time to get started. Even though I am injured, so I did Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back, same route, mountain bike, 25 kilometers, which were really, really awesome rides. And I'll show you some pictures that I took along the ride. And so that's what I'm going to do. If I can, and I did it a couple of years ago before the Ironman 70.3, I was really into my mountain biking. And there's specific courses and routes that I can do on that, which won't really affect my foot. We'll see what the physio says. If she says I must get off the bike, then that's going to be a different story, and there'll probably be another update. But until she says that, I am pretty keen to basically every day get on the bike and try and cut this weight off, which will be pretty easy to do. Also keep my legs moving, muscular endurance and stuff like that, cycling, brilliant. So I'll keep doing that. It's going to help with the running, definitely. It'll help with core stability and strength. It'll help with a lot of stuff, and endurance, and obviously the running endurance that I kind of have built up, depending on how much longer I take off, will kind of slowly fall. So I'll have to start somewhere, as I've said before, at a reasonable base and kind of work up just to get my lungs and my endurance and stuff back. But at least strength wise, I'll be starting from a really solid platform. So that is my plan going forward. To any of you who have currently got injuries and stuff like that, just work through them, work with a physio if they are on the extremer side, and yeah, good luck to you. I think there's a lot of other stuff that you can do, and it's not the end of the world. As I said before, it's a first world problem. I've paid my own hard-earned money for a race, and if that race doesn't happen and I have to pull out and do another race, literally from what's happened this year, it's a drop in the ocean. It doesn't really make a difference. And yeah, I hope you guys still stick around. I will get creative with this channel if I don't do that race, and I'll try and find some more rad things to take part in. I can even do a mountain bike race or something like that, hopefully. So yeah, we can expand, we can kind of keep changing and kind of keep it active. I hope you guys are well again. I hope your families are well and you're all looking after each other. Community wise, I think in this time I just want to also end off with the fact that I've been doing quite a lot of minimalist stuff. So I've been getting rid, it looks minimalist behind me, but I used to collect a whole bunch of rubbish, and I've been getting rid of a whole lot of clothes and all that sort of stuff and giving them to community shelters and stuff like that. Also a lot of books. I read a Kindle, and I enjoy reading, especially during these times. So I've been donating old books and stuff to a place down the road here in Cape Town that's actually connected to Tears, which is an animal shelter. So they sell books and stuff, and obviously that all helps the animals. So it is a really good time if you have got sort of, I wouldn't say extra money, but if you have even got extra clothes and stuff you don't wear, or things that you could give away to less privileged. It definitely helps. I was speaking to them at the shelter, and they say they're getting so many people from the area, new people coming in, just because of everything that's going on, and the fact that there are less people on the streets, so there are less people that are kind of donating money and stuff like that. So every little bit helps. So look after yourself, your family, your communities, everyone else, your animals, and I will catch you guys next week. Shout.